Vic, what's your full name?
Full name, Victor Edward Grimwood.
What jobs did your parents do?
What did my parents do? Not a lot. My mum looked up there. I was the oldest of three. So she didn't go to work. And my dad worked for his brother, who had a paper pitch down Darwin Street, if you know Darwin Street.
No, I don't.
Down the Bricklayers Arms.
All right.
Well,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking, I was only a kid. I started doing a paper round for him. He used to get 7 shillings a week.
That's a fortune. Shilling a day.
Well,
Where was you born?
down the Bricklayers Arms, round there.
Yeah.
Down Darwin Street.
Okay.
We lived in the buildings down the bottom. They've been changed now. They've pulled them down, and they've got new ones there,
Okay.
like more modern.
What, round near Leroy Street? That near there, Leroy Street.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kept some of them.
Barlow
buildings.
Street,
Yeah.
Mason Street.
What was your first school?
It was first school, Paragon. I was 3.
Yeah.
3.
Blimey.
We used to go there. I had to go there. We was only kid. We wasn't even being taught. We just went there, and it went from there. And as you grow older, you go up through the club, which is normal, isn't it?
Yeah. Where did you go? What was your secondary school?
That same, Paragon.
Oh, you stayed there from 3 till...
Yeah, we went up, yeah.
Okay. How old was you when you left back then?
I was 15. I missed it by 3 days, so I was older. Gone in December, January, we went back to school on the 8th, and my birthday is on the 11th, so I had to do another 3 months.
Okay, so you was one of
It
the
broke me
older-
up.
What year was you born, Vic?
What
year?
33.
And did you like school?
No.
What games did you play? No,
What game?
When you went out in the street with your mates?
Oh, we played, tin can copper they called it, Jimmy Knacker. That one man had to on the wall, and he had to try and hold people on, tin can copper, if you spotting people. Then we used to chop firewood up out the ruins and sell it, 6pence a bowl, because you could buy, then it was bundles of wood, wasn't it? In the local, paraffin, where you buy the oil shop, we called it.
So you undercut the local shops?
Oh, well, we used to do only in the flats to women. One bloke used to chop it up, and we used to take it round and sell it. If she'd give us a couple of bob more, we used to hide it down our shoe, so he never read it.
Well, so when you left school,
Yeah.
did you not like any lessons?
No, not really. I wasn't all that at school anyway.
When you left school, what was your first job?
I worked for over Manor Place. He was an electrician, and they was rewiring down the bottom of Manor Place, and he come out the Navy. He was a petty officer, and he promoted. He got on well, and he finished up a copper up at the borough. He become a copper. I used to see him, and they all used to shout out. Well, I didn't like, we become enemies, didn't we?
But, so that was a bit difficult. When it goes straight into wiring houses, I suppose he was training you like an apprentice.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked for a building firm. I've been a plumber's mate and everything.
So how did you end up in the docks? It's usually like father to son, like the family thing.
Well, I had my mum's cousin worked down at Simon's Wharf. You don't know. I had an uncle in where I worked, and they got me, even though it was a nothing job, it was through the family. And what did I do? There was a couple of us, and they'd give us a barrow and a couple of brooms and a shovel, and when they cleared a warehouse out on the ground floor or up, we had to go round, sweep it, clean it, and that was £1.90 was the money.
Yeah. What year was that you went in the dock?
Oh,
remember?
I was 16.
So
I wasn't a docker.
No.
No, I was 16.
About 1949.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
What was it like in the war? Did you get evacuated?
I got evacuated. Yeah.
Where did you go?
Went down to Sussex, and I got in. Her youngest boy was a Boy Scout, and he had to take our kids all to be settled round to the people. And where I had to go, he'd already took two, so he couldn't. And he was talking to his mum across the road, and his eldest brother was going in the army, and the other brother was going down as a bedding boy, as I learned. So I got in there. I stayed down there for 2 years. And then when it got quiet, the bombing slowed down, I come home. And then I went up into the Midlands, up into Staffordshire. I was with a coal miner. And they were very good to me. They cried when I come home. I was only there for a year because they started the rockets, the doodle bugs. We used to watch them. We used to go on where we lived, we had a flat roof where people could hang their washing.
Was this up at the...
Down Darwin Street.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to go up there and watch the planes, the Spitfires or Hurricanes, trying to tip the wing. And they used to wave to us. They was only just a bit higher than the building. There was nothing that high then, was there? And that was only a novelty.
So you was like...
Any scrap we found, we took it round and sold it. We was always trying to find something.
The bits of the doodle bug scrap.
Oh, the doodle, yeah. But when the rockets started, you didn't know when they was going off, because they just went bang.
So it's hard to imagine, isn't it? Going out, we go out and watch a firework display. They go out and watch a air raid.
Yeah.
So how long was you in the docks for then?
Altogether, I was in there about 28 years.
Was you all that Simon's Wharf?
I went in, because I worked there. I went in the army. When I come back, I applied, and because I worked there, they didn't really care. They was all thieves, and I got a brief, but I'll become a regular man up at London Bridge, and that's where I started. And Cotton's Wharf, Fenning's Wharf, if you know that, they're all gone. Mm. Simon's Wharf. That's all, and the battlefield was across the river, over by the Tower of London. They used to do Dutch boats. Didn't go over there.
What? Hard work. Hard work.
Well, it was a lot of trucking.
Yeah, but non-stop, wasn't it? Because was it piecework?
Well, you was given like you might be doing a barge of cheese, and it all got to be salted, graded, and there'd be people working in the warehouse grading it as you brought it in, or doing rubber, or we done so many different. You didn't know what you was going to do one day to another.
And some was easier and some paid more.
Well, of course they did, yeah.
What was the best paying jobs?
Oh, on the bacon. When the bacon, used to come over from Denmark, we used to get the second boat into where we was. The first one went next door, and we had the second. And if you got a job trucking bacon, it all had to come in, be done, and out on the vans, because it was coming out of a coal hole, and at that time, they didn't have no refrigerators, did they? And that kind of thing.
Yeah, Chambers Wolf.
Oh,
that was the first
Chambers
one, wasn't it? The first
Wolf.
fridge one, wasn't it?
Chambers Wolf, yeah, that was the other side.
Yeah.
That was more round by the market, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pickfords.
So, why did you leave the dock?
Well, why I left, I went on a boat one. I was on a Russian boat, and I bashed all my thumb up. And they said I couldn't hold on the rail. They said, the medical people. Well, at the time, they was offering money to go, and they was offering just over £5,000. Well, then £5,000 then was a lot to me. My girl had already, she was courting and all that, my daughter and that. I had a son, he was at work. So I took it, and the best thing I ever done, years ago, they used to do cigarette coupons, No, I didn't smoke. My wife used to smoke these cigarettes. And the place where you go, you take so many thousands of these, and you could get a pick a prize. So I said to her one day, I'll go with you just for the walk. And I went over there, and as I was walking back, like to get a bus, get a 21 bus, I see an advert. There was in an agency that they wanted messengers. So I went in and I said, "What's it like?" They said, "Go and see." Like they vet you, you just don't. I went there and I stayed there, and it was the best thing I ever done.
Was it all around the city?
I've never done so many days' work in the dock. You never done 3 months' work. Down there, I was a messenger. Then they asked me to go into the print room, do the printing. I went in there, and that kind of thing. And I stayed there. Well, when I left, which I was still working there when I was 70 odd.
Was you?
Yeah, it was such a job. And then they asked me. They had called me in one day, and they said, "How would you like to?" I was 60, and they said, would you like to take early retirement? I thought, early retirement? I said, oh, I'll have to think about it. They had a set-up of, I don't know who was, with someone in an hospital over by the meat market. There's an hospital, isn't it?
Barts, is it?
Yeah, but I had to go there and see this, whoever he was, doctor. And whatever he wrote down, I went back. They said, go to your doctor. I went to the doctor's, and now I'm 60. He said, he signed me off 5 years. 5 years. And they're going to pay me full pay till I was 65. I was in dreamland. How things fell in. That was then.
What was that for? So they can get someone else, that's, like I say, a younger man in?
Yeah.
And it still works out cheaper, I suppose.
I used to go in about 6:30, go in, do the towels in the washrooms, you know, open the post. And 1 o'clock I used to get something to take out and go home. I weighed it out.
Yeah. So you was paid for not working.
Yeah.
So till you were 65. So where was you working when you were 70 still?
That's when I was working at the solicitors till I was about 70, 73, 74.
Well done.
I loved the job.
Yeah.
And then I'd had enough of it anyway, you know. And they'd had enough of me.
Right, Vic. So when you left school, you get some money coming in. Where did you used to go weekends with your mates or your girlfriend?
Well, we go to the pub and that. Talent night. That was the thing then. The rage. Different pubs had talent contests. Not everywhere, but there wasn't much else. Other than that, you went up to pictures. There was nothing.
What pubs? Any of the pubs still going?
They're all gone. All the Bricklayers Arms is all gone. Chadbridge Road, there's only one pub there now.
Is that the George?
Yeah, that's it. We're going the Horseshoe at the top. And then on a Friday, we used to meet up. There's a pub just round the corner, and that we used to.
The Marigold and the Marigold.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we used to put a pound whipping. Anyone who come in put a pound, and it lasted.
So these talent nights, would you get up and give a song, or would you just go and watch?
No. Oh no.
You've met a woman. You're going to get married.
Yeah.
Where did you get married? What church? Did you get church?
Up at Brixton. She come from Brixton, and she changed her religion from a Protestant to a Catholic, because we, at the time, I had a lot of aunts, all strong Catholics. So she took the vows, and she became a Catholic.
Right.
And we got married in Corpus Christi, up at Brixton Hill.
Yeah. And where did you first live?
Where did we what?
She was in the talent show.
That's her, that's my wife.
Yeah.
She's a British champion, Golden State champion.
So what's her name?
Betty.
Betty what?
Betty Sue.
And she was a skater.
I never knew her when she was doing that. She used to go with the Americans, doing that, what they call it, roller skating. Yeah. Like round the track a lot. I did.
Okay, roller derby, wasn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
That. I didn't. That wasn't my scene.
You didn't fancy going skating round, no?
No.
I thought that was all the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
what about ice skating?
No.
Down at Streatham.
Yeah.
So Where did you live when you first married then?
I was at Brixton.
Yeah.
Lived with her mum and dad. Because then you only got rooms, didn't you? That you couldn't get a flat. And we had 2 rooms in where they lived. And then a friend of hers lived at Dulwich, and her mum, they were French. And she met her through the skating, and she had a flat she wanted to, and we moved to her. And from there, we got, like, then you had to pay to get key money, like off the caretaker. He might charge you 40, 50, 60 quid to get a key. And I paid 50 quid. That was a lot of money. And that was only for 1 bedroom. And that was it.
So when did you move back to Bermondsey?
What, in here?
Anywhere in Bermondsey?
Oh, I was down,
Dover.
what's the name?
Dover Flats.
Yeah, Dover Flats, down the Old Kent Road. They were good flats.
Yeah.
And as time went by, they put one flat, they made it like into 2, like double. You had double. Instead of 1 flat family living there had it on their own then. So we had 2 spare rooms. I had a dining room, a front room. I had everything. Passage. Yeah.
Lovely.
And then
Luxury.
this come up.
Yeah.
And, well, that was then. And when we through my daughter and that, because they lived local, they knew the people around here, and we come and visit it. All right, we had to get rid of a load of furniture and that's how we've been.
Oh, how long you been in this place then?
In here,
Yeah.
I'm 22.
Have you?
22 years.
Yeah. So how many children did you have?
2.
Two?
A boy, a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
They're both dead.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, God, they went young. Right. And how long since your wife died?
Oh, my wife.
Yeah.
I would say, well, quickly, it was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my boy, he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
60.
How old?
Age 60.
Oh, he
Nothing
was 60 odd.
So was you there when the docks closed, or you got out before that?
No. They closed Tooley Street, and we all had to move over to Canary Wharf. We went to Canary Wharf, and then from there I went, you know where they got the airport, hadn't they, over there,
The Royals.
over the Royals. Well, we went there working meat boats for the Argentine. Done that for 8 years over there. Yeah.
Really? Sorry. Can I just leave this for you?
Sharon.
Hello.
Split pie mash.
Oh,
Yeah, I said treatment.
I'll speak to you later, Vic.
okay, thank you.
What a touch, pie mash. So, and do you think did you get involved in any of the dock strikes?
Well, he's always involved with them. Even if you wasn't, you went out with them.
What was it? What was they over? Weren't always for money,
Oh.
was it?
Half the time you didn't know what they was over. If there was a big meeting, you'd be at the back. What they were saying up the front, you wouldn't hear. They pass it back, we're out. Jackie Dash and all them.
His name comes up a lot, but yeah, you got to be. When the hand goes up, your hand goes up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I see some photos of it, the Hayes Wolf strike.
Yeah.
And when you said you was in the army, what was that, National Service?
Oh yeah.
What did
Foreign Legion,
where did you go?
Korea.
You actually went see a bit of action.
I didn't see no action. The only action I saw, they was trying to. We had ammunition dumps round where we were, and someone they was trying to blow them up. So we all had to have a gun and look for them. But we was on the water. We used to have my own gang. I used to take one gang, and my mate used to take the other gang.
What, of Koreans or
Koreans?
Yeah.
Oh, they done the work. Oh, we didn't. If there's any swag to be nicked, that to come through us, and we could let them have it, and they give me $5. And I was doing that all day. So I was having all American dollars and going there.
What was going missing?
Who?
What was going missing? What was there to be had?
Oh, anything. They was down on their knees. They was sleeping in the road. They had nowhere to. On the station. They slept anywhere. They didn't have nowhere to sleep. They just slept on the, because they come from the north of Korea, like away from the. And then they signed the thing, didn't they? And I was out there then.
So you done your 3
And then
years.
a couple of about 3 or 4 soldiers had been released, and no one was to touch them. They done exactly what they wanted to do. They walked about with all their jacket open. They was gone. They'd been in a Korean prison, and they would eat anybody. But the military police just watched them. They never stopped them. Kept out of it. They was going that way, I went that way.
What other stories you got from Korea? Any other stories?
Not really.
What about any other stories?
If there wasn't a boat, we didn't go to work. We was kept in a little dugout. I've got some photos here, and we was kept out of the way until the ship come in. We only worked when the ship come in. There was only about 5 or 6 of us.
So they was kind of utilising your skills. So I know a lot of dock workers, they was kind
We
of.
had an old copper. We used to boil their clothes in. And then we used to have a kid. He used to sleep on the floor. He was a refugee. He was a Korean. We all had them, houseboys, and they used to tidy up our what's name.
So what about what was the stuff you used to thieve out the dock?
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything
And
I could.
was it easy to get it
Anything I
out?
could make a pound out of.
And was it easy to get it off out the boat and out of the wharf and
Well,
home?
we all had ways of doing it.
What was the biggest earner you had? Do you remember?
Copper. We had 5. We nicked 5 they call them torpedoes. And a mate of mine had a mini. And what they done in an open barge, you taking them out. Well, what we was doing, we was taking the floorboards up under the barge and hiding the fucking thing. So when the count come, the barge is empty, nothing there. So anyway, that was that. And then we had a bloke. Well, you paid. Give him a couple of quid. He was a lighterman, and he had the barge. About a fortnight later, he brought the barge up over Bow, and we had to meet him at 6 o'clock in the morning to get the copper out, put it in the Mini, and we drove all the way from over Bow, right the way down the Old Kent Road to where we was going to sell it. And we near enough hit every green light, got away, lucky.
How much you get for that, do you remember?
Oh, well, at the time it was easy come, easy go. We nicked anything.
That's it.
Mercury, the canister weighed more than the mercury, what they're in. Dead weight, you could hardly lift them.
Yeah.
And they're only little. They were thick and red. Only had one of them, too heavy.
Yeah. A nice
But we
little one,
used to do all kinds of things.